No holding them once they get to the... They love to laugh at anyone's misfortune.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is door. D-O-O-R.
Really?
You bet your life.
Well, what is gung-ho? Does that mean you worked in a Chinese laundry?
No, Groucho, that's marine talk. That means you're all marine.
Oh. Are you sure your husband hasn't lost some of his buttons in this laundry?
I don't think he ever lost his buttons in the laundry, but he lost his pants at the wedding.
That's a little premature, isn't it? That's a nice save.
But I've
Well,
had...
tell us about some unusual experience
Yes, this happened off duty.
that we can conceivably use here tonight.
This happened off duty.
You've said very little that we can, but perhaps something will come out that we won't get arrested.
Well, my most interesting experience, I believe, happened as a result of a newspaper ad that I answered a year or so ago. A gentleman in Laguna Beach advertised in the Post...
There are no gentlemen in Laguna Beach.
No, this gentleman is now abroad. Didn't come out the way I meant it.
This couldn't be Christine, huh? Well, I'll have stuff for next year, huh? Is Pat still working across the hall from you, Les?
Yes, she is.
Do you believe a woman should work after she's married?
No, but I believe it's only right until we get a little money ahead in case of a sudden little mishap.
That's certainly a new name for it, huh? Just what do you mean by that, Les? And I hope you don't mean what they think you mean. What do you mean by that?
Well, anything can come about. Any emergency
No, not
can
anything.
arise. Different things can arise.
I see. By the way, Pat, back to the baking powder. Did you read is he related to you, this character in Indiana?
No, we're not connected in any way.
Not even the jawbone with the knee bone? Knee bone's connected with the jawbone, and jawbone connected with the jawbone, and football. Can you do a grind, Sue? Sue, can you do a grind?
I have 2 children.
Well, you say he went to Japan after that, huh?
About 25 years, Groucho.
What have you learned after being 25 years in politics?
Well, the old-fashioned way is still the best.
I must have some reputation, you know. There isn't anything anybody can say to me anymore that doesn't evoke some kind of a dirty laugh from the audience. What do you mean by the old-fashioned way?
Well, just...
What were you studying at this Fenneman's Waterloo?
I was studying. My major was nursing, and my minor was
Your major was a nurse?
nursing,
Oh, nursing.
and my minor was psychology.
Oh. And did you become a nurse?
I was a nurse before I started for I had an RN degree before I started for the BS.
What's an RN? I won't ask you what the other letter is.
RN stands for...
What's that?
RN stands for registered nurse.
It does, huh?
Yes.
Now, what is the most unusual thing you've been asked to purchase?
Well, I would say let's see, just recently we had a request over the phone for the magic pillow. You know, it's a very unusual gift.
Tell me, quick, what is it? Huh?
Well, it's...
What does it do? Hurry, hurry.
One of these pillows, you know, and you put it in, it's electrical, and you plug it in the wall, and then it wiggles, and you can sit on it, and it massages your spine, and, well, when you're watching television, you can put it on your, put your feet on it, and massages your feet, and, well,
if I'm going to get something that wiggles, I don't want a pillow. You sell him one of those. There's no women up in that camp. You may think you were describing a pillow. You were actually describing the girl of my dreams. I hate to leave this seductive subject, but Paul, let's get back to your work. Do you chop any trees down yourself? No.
No, because they're busy working by themselves.
Well, so am I, but that's another story, huh?
And they work 24 hours a
And a pretty
day.
foul one, too, huh?
They work 24 hours a day for you.
They do, huh?
And each worm lays an egg every 7 days. And at the end of
You could go
21
in
days,
television, huh?
the end of 21 days, those eggs hatch. And there's from 1 to 20 worms in each egg. And when the baby's 3 months old, it's mature and starts laying. And every worm lays.
Remember when people used to, they'd talk to somebody else and they'd want to insult them? They'd say, you poor worm, you.
I have 2 girls also.
You have 2 girls?
Uh-huh.
How old are they?
Well, my oldest one, Ruth Ann, is 16. She was just chosen Miss Quartzville and Queen of the Almond Festival.
Well, that's
She'll
a nice
be,
title, Miss Quartzville.
Yeah. We'd like for you to come up and see it.
Well, I
Could you
might.
come to the festival?
I might. When is it?
7th of March. Dick Lane's going to be up there, and I think that you'd be real good up there.
Well, if you have Dick Lane, I don't think you'd need me.
Well, I don't know.
I think they do. Yeah, they do very well.
Well, did you have a girl in this country that you were enamored of, and that was the reason you didn't want to accept this chief's offer?
No, I don't have a girl, Groucho.
You don't have any girl? Right?
No, sir.
What? How old did you say you were?
31.
You had a girl, I imagine.
Well, how do you mean that?
Well, I meant it in the nicest way you possibly could. I mean, at some time in these 31 years, there must have been some girl that you liked, wasn't it?
I like traveling better, I'm afraid.
Oh. Well, I don't see the comparison, but I suppose... I know you need a bag when you travel, but I don't know.
Call me madam, will you please?
I'll call
That's
you
much
madam,
nicer.
huh?
That's nicer.
Well, in some circles, that's not considered such a nice thing. I will compromise and call you mademoiselle, huh?
That's all right. I used to be mademoiselle.
Well, who wasn't, huh?
And they took 20 girls up to the capital, Stockholm, and picked out 9 girls and introduced them in the weekly review, who always are the sponsor of Miss Sweden. And then the population of Sweden voted.
And you were an overwhelming success, huh? You breathed in
You were like native dancer, in other words. Huh? Native dancer should look that good.
What is that, man?
Native dancer was a famous racehorse who had just retired as stud. Give you any stuff. Stop crouching, Dwan. It'll get you nothing. Well, let's get back to the Miss Universe contest. You say this was held in Stockholm?
Oh.
Actually, I thought you were around 13 and just been bar mitzvahed. What are you laughing at? You know what that means?
Yes, I heard the Chinese joke about that, but I forgot. That was a punchline. Say something in Chinese.
Yeah. I think we can skip over that whole thing here. This isn't turning out the way I contemplated. Either that or they turn into an omelet. You say they throw vegetables at each other?
Yes, indeed.
Are these vegetables still in the can?
Cans? No, we don't
or do
have...
they can what they can?
You see, we don't have cans in Pakistan.
You don't?
We believe in having everything fresh.
You see, this audience, Pat, let me explain something to you. This audience is even filthier than I am. The slightest shading they will pick up and gobble.
So you lived in the hills?
How long?
Well, I lived there about 20 years in caves and under trees and top of trees.
What sort of comforts of home did you have there? Huh?
Well, I had a sleeping bag and football and a shopping bag full of nuts.
What was the football for?
Well, I never had a tree mate. I mean, I never had a girlfriend or a friend, so I had to play with something, so I played with the football.
I've heard of people making a forward pass, but this was with 11 men. You know, that's something I've never understood, Helen. What is the purpose of the glass egg? How does it work?
Well,
what is the principle of it?
Well, the principle of putting a glass egg under the youngsters is to keep the old pair satisfied.
Well, they're up in Bakersfield, aren't they?
Well, no, as a rule, you only ship the one. You don't ship the pair when you ship. You leave one at home.
Well, why do you... still don't understand why you put a glass egg under them. What does that do?
Well, that's just so you don't raise too many youngsters, too many squeakers.
Well, suppose there isn't a glass egg under the pigeon. What happens?
Well, then he just goes to work again.
Well, I guess that's as far as we can go on that. Well, you've certainly clarified that, Helen.
We had no playing cards or any way to entertain the boys, so we sat on the floor and played these tiddlywinks. About 9 o'clock, the manager...
It was 9 in the morning?
No, at night.
Same night, huh?
They'd only been there about a half an hour when
And you whipped out the tiddlywinks as soon as they got there, is that it? Must have been a great kick to these fellas. Imagine these two guys getting off the boat and say, let's go over to her apartment. We're going to get some hot tiddlywinks. Huh? One guy says, no, let's go to a barroom. He says, you nuts, let's go over that tiddlywink thing there. So what happened? There you are, the four of you on the floor playing tiddlywinks. Huh?
And the manager came up.
The manager? He wanted to get in the game, too?
No, he knocked on the door very loudly, and he said we were making too much noise, that we would have to go out and seek entertainment somewhere else.
You were making too much noise playing tiddlywinks?
Playing tiddlywinks.
What were you playing with, loaded tiddlies? or were you using manhole covers? Well, is the food any good in this hash house?
Wonderful. I eat chicken every night. I think I'm going to turn into a hen.
Well, you haven't got too far to go, Mary.
I'm already there.
No, I don't think so. John, are potatoes really fattening?
No, sir. It's what you put on them that's fattening.
What do you mean?
Oh, butter, gravy, cheese. But if you put that on a mattress, it would fatten you too.
That's one of the few things I've never had on a mattress. I just couldn't resist it. You had 5 kids and no pigs, huh?
And we got 3 more.
3 pigs?
3 more kids.
You now have 8 kids?
Yeah, 8 kids.
And where is your husband? Is he in the audience?
No, this died 3 years ago. I know though.
How do you know he died? Maybe he's just hiding.
No.
Well, I'm sorry he's dead, Anna, but he said he knew what he was doing. Do you have your beady eye on another potential?
Yeah.
You what?
Yeah.
Well, let's go on with this lesson then. Now.
All right, now.
Now, suppose somebody comes in and wants to take a lesson. Let's say that he wants to come in and he wants to take some lessons. What is the first thing you do?
I find out if they want to be professionals, amateurs, or just sing in the bathroom. That's a great, that helps me a great deal about the teaching.
I see. There's 3 kinds of...
There are 3 kinds of singers, yes.
There's professional, amateur, and crane plumbing. In other words.
Yes. The crane plumbers, I tell them to go back home. Yes.
Well, they usually have the best pipes of all, you know. How would you analyze me?
You? Oh, every time I see you with a cigar in your mouth, I think of all the frustrations you had as a child and the wrong kind of a bottle that they gave you.
Mademoiselle, it may interest you to know that I never had a bottle.
You're still looking for it in your cigar.
Well, it's been a very enervating experience, darling. And one I never hope to go through again. However, the time has come, the walrus said to play You Bet Your Life.